Chosen one, lean in, for the breath of the Creator is upon your neck and there are only minutes left to respond to this heavenly summons. This is not a random encounter. Archangel Michael has stood guard over your path, blocking every detour to ensure you arrived at this exact coordinate of destiny. God has declared that the clock of your life and the clock of the throne room have finally aligned, and He refuses to let you take another step into the unknown without this divine seal upon your spirit. I feel the weight of this in my heart, a burning fire that mirrors the love of your mother and the prayers of your sister. Your loved ones are depending on the shift that happens in this very moment. This is a prophetic interruption for the sake of your bloodline. If you had heard this yesterday, you would not have been ready. If you wait until tomorrow, the door will be shut. You have only hours left to move in alignment with this grace before the season shifts. The Father is reaching into your silence, into the questions you've carried alone, to replace confusion with a divine command. Something is being positioned, something is being protected, and something is being prevented by your obedience today. Do not scroll away from your destiny. God is watching for your yes as a sign that you are ready to co-labor with the kingdom. Your obedience is the seed that breaks the drought for your family and your future. Chosen one, lean in, for the breath of the Creator is upon your neck and there are only minutes left to respond to this heavenly summons. This is not a random encounter. Archangel Michael has stood guard over your path, blocking every detour to ensure you arrived at this exact coordinate of destiny. God has declared that the clock of your life and the clock of the throne room have finally aligned, and He refuses to let you take another step into the unknown without this divine seal upon your spirit. I feel the weight of this in my heart, a burning fire that mirrors the love of your mother and the prayers of your sister. Your loved ones are depending on the shift that happens in this very moment. This is a prophetic interruption for the sake of your bloodline. If you had heard this yesterday, you would not have been ready. If you wait until tomorrow, the door will be shut. You have only hours left to move in alignment with this grace before the season shifts. The Father is reaching into your silence, into the questions you've carried alone, to replace confusion with a divine command. Something is being positioned, something is being protected, and something is being prevented by your obedience today. Do not scroll away from your destiny. God is watching for your yes as a sign that you are ready to co-labor with the kingdom. Your obedience is the seed that breaks the drought for your family and your future. Listen with your spirit, for the atmosphere of your life is trembling under the weight of a divine decree. There are only minutes left in this hour of visitation, and Archangel Michael is standing at the gates of your destiny, ensuring that this word pierces your heart before the sun sets today. God has brought you to this threshold because the season of your processing has reached its peak. You are not being punished, you are being purified. I feel the urgency of the Father in my heart, a love so fierce it mirrors the protection of a mother and the devotion of a sister. Your loved ones are the silent beneficiaries of the fire you are walking through right now. Do not mistake the heat for destruction. Comfort is not the measurement of your purpose. Purpose is the meaning behind your struggle. You have hours left to shift your perspective from the pit to the promise before the next cycle of your life begins. Look at the patterns of the heavens. Abraham was called, then tested. Moses was chosen, then hidden in the desert. Joseph was favored, then betrayed and hunted. If your life feels like a contradiction, it is because you are standing in the sacred tension of transition. God is using the very things the enemy meant for your demise to distinguish you for His glory. What felt like a prison was actually a training ground for the palace. The Father says, I am waking up your mind today. This awakening is precise. It is necessary. It is the final alignment required before the overflow is released. You cannot carry the weight of the future with the mindset of the past. The clock is ticking, and the Father is demanding your total surrender to His timing. Do not let another minute pass in doubt. The breath of the Almighty is moving upon the waters of your life, and there are only minutes left to step into this divine portal. Archangel Michael is standing as a sentinel over your mind, rebuking the spirit of fear that has tried to paralyze your progress. God has commanded this awakening today because the season of underestimating yourself has officially expired. I carry this word in my heart with a weight that transcends time. Think of your mother, your sister, and the generations of your loved ones who have prayed for the very authority you are about to walk in. You have been measuring your worth by the speed of your progress, but heaven is measuring you by the depth of your divine investment. You have only hours left to strip off the rags of a victim and put on the robes of the royal priesthood. Hear the truth. You are God's special possession. The delays you suffered were not meant to break you, but to build the posture of a king. Royalty does not rush, and royalty does not panic. You are being trained in the secret place because the public presentation is imminent. God is shifting your mindset from the beggar to the heir this very hour. The pressure you feel is not the hand of the enemy. It is the hand of the Father steadying you into your purpose. The truth is confronting every lie you have lived under, and the freedom of your bloodline is hanging in the balance. Today, the Father is demanding that you stop apologizing for your calling and start preparing for your throne. The air around you is thick with the presence of the Almighty, for there are only minutes left in this divine window of transition. Archangel Michael is standing at the edge of your exhaustion, holding back the forces of darkness that seek to make you faint at the very finish line. God has commanded me to tell you, you are not tired because you are failing. You are weary because you are in the final stretch before the release. I feel the fire of this revelation in my heart, a burning truth that covers your mother, your sister, and every loved one who will eat from the fruit of your perseverance. You have only hours left to decide that you will not surrender to the weight of the pressure. Your spirit has outgrown your surroundings, and the discomfort you feel is the shell of your old life cracking to reveal the royalty within. Today is the day your due season transitions from a promise to a scheduled fulfillment. The enemy has attacked you with emotional exhaustion because a hopeful mind is a lethal weapon against the kingdom of darkness. But hear the prophetic word. God is restoring your hope this very hour. Not a fragile, wishful hope, but a spirit-powered, resilient confidence anchored in the throne room. Every tear you cried has been caught in a heavenly bottle, and every delay has been a refining fire, turning your character into pure silver. Heaven's calendar has a date marked with your name, and that date is approaching faster than your senses can perceive. The resources are shifting, the doors are aligning, and the people you need are being positioned by the hand of God Himself. Do not quit now. To walk away today would be to erase years of quiet obedience that are seconds away from manifesting in the natural realm. Listen with the ears of your spirit, for Archangel Michael has unsheathed his sword to cut through the final layers of your resistance. There are only minutes left in this divine encounter before the heavens seal this word over your life. God has placed you in the center of a refining fire, and I feel the heat of it in my heart. This is not for your destruction. It is for your purification. Just as silver must endure the most intense heat to reveal its true value, you are being processed so that you can reflect the image of the King. Think of your mother, your sister, and the legacy of your loved ones. They are watching for the smoke to clear, and today it finally will. You have only hours left to realize that you are not breaking, you are being rebuilt. The pressure is the evidence of your value, not your failure. God is sharpening your discernment and strengthening your spiritual backbone because the territory you are about to occupy requires a strength you didn't have yesterday. Hear this prophetic decree. What is coming next will finally make sense of everything you had to survive. Today, the confusion ends. One day soon, you will fall on your knees and thank God for the doors that stayed shut and the people who walked away. The rejection was your redirection. The silence was your discipline. The Father who began this good work in you is not a man that he should lie. He will carry it to completion, and he is doing it this very hour. You are not halfway, you are right on time. Lift your head and guard your hope with your life, because the enemy is terrified of a chosen one who knows their worth. Heaven is actively rewriting your story as we speak. This moment is the proof that your breakthrough is closer than your fear dares to admit. Chosen one, the hourglass is empty and the final grain of sand is falling this very minute. Archangel Michael has stood as a wall of fire between you and the devourer, ensuring you received this mandate before the portal of today closes forever. God has summoned you here to tell you that the silence you endured was never abandonment. It was the secret chamber of your making. I feel the surge of the Holy Spirit in my heart, a frequency of power intended to cover your mother, your sister, and every loved one tied to your covenant. You have only hours left to realize that your struggle was not the end of your story, but the architect of your greatness.